I wanted to share. I'm starting to write my autobiography, and I wanted to share what I have so far. So I'm just going to read it. I'm only going to read the first section. It's just kind of like the beginning of it. But yeah. Anyway. Hello. My name is Ariel, Whigham, and I am 19 years old. My uncle inspired me to write an autobiography. It's crazy how everything works out, even when you think it won't. I don't know where to start. But how does one start a book anyway? I'm here to tell you about my life. My mother died when I was 13 years old due to suicide, which caused a chain reaction of events that have led me to 3 mental hospital trips, years of self-abuse and neglect, and mental health struggles that are still being navigated. Did I catch your attention? I don't tell this story lightly. I want this book to be a telling of my own truth, despite how others may react to it. I've learned a lot about the ego in these past couple months, what the sense of self is, and how it's developed psychologically. I have attached my name to a lot of pain, guilt, and grief. I'm still learning to redefine who I am, and how my uncle likes to put it, remembering who I am. He likes to say that we don't lose ourselves, we just forget ourselves. We neglect the childhood spirit we are in search of something outside of ourselves, something that's more than we are because we inherently do not feel good, worthy, or deserving enough, as we are. I'm here to validate my own experience, while also bringing you along on the journey. I desire my autobiography to be compelling, emotional, authentic, and heartfelt. But I also want to bring light to my perspective and the good I've been able to take out of death, neglect, abuse, and pain. So much pain. Only recently have I gained the ability to reframe my perspective on life, the one I've been taught, the one I've perpetuated in the strife of self-preservation. Building positive experiences is absolutely crucial. Building a foundation of grace, patience, self-love, and compassion is critical. Many people say I'm extremely mature for my age, but my deep sense of empathy and understanding has often led me in search of more. I lose myself in the contemplating, the attempts to intellectualize the way my brain works. At times it feels like a curse to think as much as I do, to feel so deeply and profoundly, but I also understand it's a blessing, for the self-awareness may be my savior, if I allow it to be. I could be like any other adult, 10 years down the road in a 9-to-5 job I despise and a failing marriage. I could be caught in the throes of abuse and drug addiction. One could say I choose not to spiral into a deadly, ritualistic, self-sabotaging descent, but for me I don't see that as an option, though I am a vessel for my own autonomy. Once I see things clearly, I can't pretend to be blind. In a sense, I know better. The way I describe it is being too smart to be sad. But being intelligent does not spare me of the depression and destructive habits I still tend to engage in, the darkness I entertain. It just allows me to think about it differently, in a way that's more effective and geared towards developing a healthier well-being. I remind myself I'm where I'm meant to be. The lessons will repeat themselves until they're learned. I've always been an all-or-nothing person, so sometimes the gravity of my situations are only understood when they're thrown at me like a brick to the back of the head. If you're going to continue reading, you will be immersed in moments of self-hatred, a sadness so piercing and expansive it may drown you, if you don't pull your head from the water's surface. A grief that takes the breath from your lungs and cracks your ribs right open to nakedness, vulnerability. You will feel the air whistle through the exposed tender flesh of heart and bone. You will feel the severity and the weight of my words, the moments I will to fall asleep and never wake up again. But those moments will craft into a bittersweet ovation of life, what it is to be alive, to sit in the car with your 2 best friends on a 12-day trip, sleeping in the back of a van, driving along the west coast of Oregon, lost in the rolling stretches of green, the space between villages, while Noah Kahan's Stick Season album sings through the car's CD player. The sound of the wind breezing in through an open window, the look in your friend's eyes as she tells you how much she loves you. For a brief eclipse in time, you will feel something other than spiritually dead and endlessly alone. You will realize the scar tissue on your wrist is exactly what it is, to be alive. That death and pain and feeling is all a part of life, that you can't reject the everything you carry into the sheets with you at night, that you must accept it, that you must take accountability of the abuse you've geared towards yourself and awake the next day, anyway. You will choose to stay alive, but it's more than that. You will choose to do more than just react to the situations you're in, to exist. You will want to be alive. You will want to feel the melancholy, but also the joy. You will allow the gold to seep through the cracks of your soul and craft you into whole, rich, immersive belonging. You will become a part of something greater than yourself, something you never could have imagined to be possible.